What if someone walked up to you right now and told you this? There exists a single sentence so charged with invisible power that the moment it leaves your lips, just once, it sets something irreversible into motion. Not a ritual, not a chant, not a spell you have to repeat 1,000 times in a candlelit room. One sentence, spoken once from the right place inside you, and after that, the current shifts, the flow turns. Wealth begins moving in your direction as naturally as water rushing downhill. Your mind is probably pushing back right now. Maybe you're questioning how something as enormous and complicated as your financial life could possibly be altered by a single arrangement of words. That resistance is real. That skepticism has a name. But underneath it, if you're being completely honest, there is something else. A quiet trembling, a small ember that refuses to go out. Because somewhere in the architecture of your being, you already know that words are not merely vibrations of air. They are decrees. They are the invisible keys that swing open doors in worlds you cannot yet see. Carl Jung understood this with absolute certainty. He taught it not as poetry, not as metaphor, but as law. He said, "Your words are your magic wand. Every time you speak, you summon immense forces you cannot see, but which hear you and respond to you." Poverty does not knock on your door by accident. Neither does wealth. They both arrive through the words you repeat, consciously or unconsciously, every single day of your life. Now I need you to be very still with me, because in the next few minutes, you are going to encounter a sentence of such concentrated spiritual force that speaking it just once will be enough to set a torrent of abundance into motion, more than you might feel ready to receive. This is not a hollow formula. This is not a performance trick. This is a profound moment of alignment. The moment your voice connects to the infinite source that has always been listening. Take a breath. Open your mind. Sharpen your inner perception. Because after this sentence crosses your lips, the version of you that existed before this moment will no longer exist. Before we get there, I want you to do one thing. Go to the comments right now and type 1111. I am opening the door to my infinite abundance. Not as a social gesture, as a declaration. Because the moment you name something, the moment you place your identity next to a possibility, the invisible world begins organizing itself in your favor. This journey has several phases. First, a curiosity will awaken inside you. Then, you will rediscover forgotten truths. Then comes the great illumination. And finally, you will face the challenge of opening yourself to a magnitude of wealth that might, honestly, frighten you. Do not be afraid, because nothing that flows from an infinite source destroys a person. It only expands them. It only transforms them. You were drawn to these words. That was not an accident. Maybe you've been drowning in debt, suffocating under relentless anxiety, or standing against a wall that life built around you. Maybe you've worked yourself raw and still watched the money drain through your hands like water through cracked stone. Today, right now, you are receiving the key that shatters that useless cycle. Prepare yourself. Your mind is about to become a different instrument. The ancient mystery hidden inside a single word. You already sense, deep beneath the noise of daily life, that words are not innocent. Every syllable that escapes your mouth carries a vibration that travels further than you could ever imagine. The sentences you construct may appear to dissolve into the air, but they don't. They embed themselves into the invisible fabric that holds your life together. They transform into seeds, and just like every seed that falls into the earth, they germinate, they rise, they come back to meet you. Carl Jung articulated this with striking clarity. The word that falls from your lips is the governing law of your destiny. If you are constantly speaking of lack, of debt, of struggle, of fear, the echo of those words constructs more lack, more struggle, more fear. But the moment you proclaim abundance, the moment you affirm wealth, the universe begins displacing invisible boulders to present that wealth to you. Consider this. Everything currently present in your life, the home you inhabit, the number in your bank account, the relationships surrounding you, all of it began with a single word. You named your fears. You named your doubts. You named your desires. And the world submitted to those declarations. The word that exits your mouth never asks whether you deserve it. It never interrogates your readiness. It simply creates. That is the vast secret behind a single, consciously intended sentence. A sentence does not need to be repeated 1,000 times to carry power. Because what moves mountains is not the count of repetitions. It is the quality of the belief burning in your chest in the moment you speak. The quality of that complete surrender. One sentence, spoken from the heart, with absolute certainty that the invisible has already answered you, is infinitely more powerful than 1,000 hollow repetitions. Imagine yourself standing before a colossal door with a key in your hand. You only need to slide that key into the right slot and turn it once for the door to open. You do not need to frantically jam the lock over and over in desperation. One precise movement at the right moment opens even the most fortified lock. That is precisely how the power of a spoken word operates. The point is not to make this sentence an obsession. The point is to declare it with absolute clarity and then withdraw in that deep state of trust, surrendering and believing. Most people make the mistake of using spiritual affirmations like empty magic formulas, words with no soul inside them. They speak, they keep speaking, but their interior is still flooded with the terror of losing, still saturated with anxiety about tomorrow. And nothing changes. Because a word is like an arrow that must be launched from a bow. It requires the tension of your belief, the draw weight of your conviction. Without that inner tautness, without that unshakable certainty, the arrow hangs suspended in the air and never reaches its mark. This is why, before I give you that tremendous affirmation, you must fully comprehend this mystery. This is not just any word. This is not for just any moment. This is a decree that must emerge from the very depths of someone who has made a definitive decision to stop living in the consciousness of scarcity. Today, carve this truth into the deepest chamber of your heart. When born from total conviction, even a single word can alter everything. Carl Jung and the magnificent science of the spoken word. When you hear the name Carl Jung, you might think of deep psychological analysis, of dreams, of the shadowed corridors of the human mind. But the legacy he left humanity reaches far beyond the pages of any book. He gave us a precise map for understanding that the spoken word the conscious declaration that leaves the mouth, is the primary force governing our existence. He would say that the human being lives surrounded by invisible laws that respond instantly to conscious verbal expressions. That, if you never learn to wield words as power, you will become a servant to your own misdirected speech. Think about it. How many times have you caught yourself saying, "I can't do this. It's too hard. My income never stretches far enough." Those ordinary sentences escaping your lips without a second thought transform into absolute commands that the universe immediately acts upon. Every time you voice scarcity, every time you give language to lack, you are activating a universal law, and that law executes your command with flawless precision. Jung demonstrated that the real secret is not to fight your life or work yourself to exhaustion, but to transform the language, to change the internal narrative, because when your words align with abundance, the invisible world reorganizes every condition to present you with what you have named. Jung did not treat this as academic knowledge. He regarded it as the immutable law of the human mind's synchronization with the universe. As infallible as gravity, you speak, and life obeys. You curse yourself with language of lack, and invisible chains coil around your throat. You give thanks and declare abundance, and doors open before you. He was not talking about parroting words like a machine. He was talking about releasing words with the colossal sensation of certainty, the feeling that what you desire has already been fulfilled. And he urged us never to underestimate the force of a single word spoken in genuine belief, because one word carried by real faith can mobilize invisible forces on your behalf. When you think about money, perhaps you see it as something cold, material, and impossibly distant. But within Jung's profound understanding, money was simply a form of energy waiting to obey you. And this energy responds not to the sweat on your forehead, but to the vibration of the words flowing from your mouth. This is where your real awakening begins. You are not a victim of a broken economy, a dark past, or debt that towers above your head. You are the creator of your life, and the most formidable instrument in your possession is not your muscle or your endless working hours. It is your own voice, the voice that determines your fate, the vibration and frequency of wealth. You know that every word leaving your mouth produces a sound, but perhaps you have never paused to consider the vibration carried inside that sound. And this vibration resonates with everything existing in the invisible world, like a musical note that causes a distant string to tremble. Your words awaken dormant forces that have been waiting for your call. Wealth, like every other form of energy in the universe, carries its own unique frequency. When you exist inside chronic fear, relentless worry, or endless complaint, your voice broadcasts extremely low vibrations. And as a result, you invite into your life more circumstances that give you more reason to keep worrying. But when you use words saturated with belief, overflowing with abundance, radiating certainty, your voice transforms into a colossal magnet, drawing wealth directly toward you. Jung expressed this simply: a human being can change their entire world by changing their words. This is not a pleasant-sounding phrase. It is an absolute law. Your words Tune the entire instrument of your life to a particular frequency. And the only real question is, what frequency are you living on right now? Drop 528. My heart is open, and wealth flows to me freely. Write this in the comments right now, because 528 is the frequency of transformation, the frequency at which the heart opens and abundance becomes unobstructed. Imagine that money is a radio station broadcasting continuously. It is always on the air, but only those who tune their receiver to the correct frequency can hear it. If your mind and your words are still locked onto the frequency of scarcity, then, no matter how abundantly money flows through the universe, that current will not reach you. But the moment you change your words, the moment you align your voice with the frequency of abundance, you suddenly begin to hear the music, and that is when money starts flowing directly toward you, like a river that has finally found its channel. Simply wanting to be wealthy is not enough. You have to speak from inside wealth, from that feeling of fullness, of already having arrived, because your words are decrees that reveal the frequency you are actually living on. You can say, "I want abundance," while internally repeating, "I have no money." It's never enough, and your real frequency remains scarcity. Life always obeys your actual broadcast, not the surface performance, the signal underneath. This is your greatest test. You must train your voice to radiate wealth before wealth arrives at your door. Now it is time to prepare the heart. Before that great sentence can cross your lips, your heart must be ready for it. Because if resistance still lives inside you, the terror of losing, the shadow of doubt, then uttering that sacred sentence means nothing. The universe does not respond only to the sound leaving your mouth. It responds to the vibration radiating from your entire being. Until now, sentences like, "I can't," "I have no money," "This is impossible," have been woven into your life by the thousands, like stubborn weeds strangling fertile soil. Those sentences have taken root in your subconscious, transforming into thorns that block the road of abundance. This is why, before you speak the word that will redirect your fate, you must clear the ground. You must pull those thorns out by their roots. Think of a farmer about to scatter seed across his fields. Before he entrusts his finest seed to the earth, what does he do? He clears the stones. He aerates the soil. He prepares the land for what is about to grow. You must prepare your inner field in exactly the same way. Breathe with me now. Draw a deep breath in. Feel that air as a fresh wave of possibility that life is offering you right now. Now, release it slowly. Allow the heavy burden in your chest, that tension crushing your shoulders, to simply dissolve and rise away. As you breathe, repeat inwardly, "I am releasing every feeling of lack from within me. I am breaking every resistance. I am opening myself to what is entirely new." What you just did is not merely an exercise. It is a fundamental act of purification. Because the words of abundance cannot take root in a heart that is rigid with fear, they need space. They need a softened heart, one genuinely willing to believe that what has always been called impossible might, in fact, be possible. In Jung's philosophy lies this truth. What you deny will hold you captive. What you accept will transform you. When you refuse to receive, when you reject your right to flourish, you are, with your own hands, locking your own chains. But the moment you acknowledge that you are part of this abundant universe, that prosperity is your birthright, the vast universe bows before you and opens roads in your path. For years, you were taught that wealth is unreachable, that money belongs only to certain people, that it can only be earned through relentless grinding. Today, I am asking you to shed those ancient beliefs. The way you would set down a crushing stone you have carried far too long. You no longer need them. Money is not your enemy. Prosperity is not some exclusive privilege that belongs to others. Wealth is your spiritual and universal inheritance. Before I give you the sentence, close your eyes for a moment and imagine your life completely cleared of the fear of money. Visualize abundance streaming toward you with no obstacle in its path, the way a clear and powerful river rushes forward. Feel yourself paying your bills with deep inner peace. Feel yourself receiving abundance without a single gram of guilt and living it fully. Because when your heart fills with these luminous images, the words that leave your lips are also purified. And before a purified word, no force in this world can stand. A purified heart is the most perfect vessel for abundance to pour into and overflow from. The moment the great secret is revealed. Up to this point, you have felt the invisible power of the spoken word. You have witnessed the depth of Jung's understanding. You have prepared the soil of your heart for the great seed. Now the time has arrived. The sacred sentence that, spoken just once, is sufficient to initiate a vast wave of prosperity in your life. I want you to experience this not as a routine task, but as a spiritual ceremony. Draw a deep breath, if you can. Gently close your eyes. Feel the profound stillness within your body. And now, receive this sentence with every cell of your being. The sentence is this: I now receive large sums of money into my life through the grace of the universe in perfect, harmonious, and astonishing ways. You do not need to repeat this sentence 100 times in succession. You do not need to force your voice or exhaust yourself. You only need to say it once, but with complete awareness of what you are saying, with the totality of your conviction. As you speak these words, do not deliver them like a distant wish you hope might one day come true. Speak them like an absolute reality unfolding at this very second, because the instant you make this declaration, invisible forces begin working on your behalf. In the light of Jung's teachings, when you say, I receive through the grace of the universe, you have opened the door of wealth without suffering, without harming a single soul, without a trace of guilt. You are allowing the finest, the most beautiful pathways to flow toward you. And when you add the phrase, in perfect, harmonious, and astonishing ways, you are commanding the universe to send abundance so vast it exceeds even the boundaries of your current imagination. Think about it. Money might arrive through an unexpected salary increase, through a new professional door that suddenly swings open, through a forgotten debt someone finally repays, through a gift arriving from a direction you never anticipated, through channels you have not yet dreamed of. Your only task here is to allow it to happen. Write 777. I am divinely aligned with prosperity in the comments right now, because 777 is the number of divine alignment, the signal that you and the universe are now moving in the same direction. Now speak this sentence aloud, wherever you are, with everything your heart contains. Speak it as though you are pushing open a colossal gate and stepping through it, never looking back. I now receive large sums of money into my life through the grace of the universe in perfect, harmonious, and astonishing ways. Notice what is happening inside you right now. Perhaps a faint shiver, perhaps a warmth spreading through your chest, perhaps a quiet smile breaking across your face without your permission. That is the moment your frequency of abundance is synchronizing with your body and your soul. One genuine utterance, spoken in true surrender, is enough to carve the channel through which that river of abundance will flow. But if you want to keep your mind elevated at this frequency, carry the sentence with you, writing it down, placing it somewhere your eyes will find it again and again. Now subscribe to Carl Jung philosophy and turn on your notifications, because every time you do, you are making an open declaration to the universe. I am completely ready to hear the words of abundance and draw them into my life. The seed has fallen into the earth, and no seed once fallen into fertile ground ever fails to bear fruit when its season arrives. Now, how will you translate this decree into action? I am going to give you steps that are profoundly simple but staggering in their effect. First, subject your daily language to strict examination. If you speak that sacred sentence and then spend the rest of the day complaining about scarcity, that sentence becomes void. Every time you say, "I have no money," you are tearing that seed of abundance out of the ground with your own hands. From this day forward, make a decision. Every word leaving your mouth will be completely consistent with the wealth you have set into motion. Second, live as though that abundance has already arrived. When you pay a bill, no matter how large or small, do it with profound gratitude. Bless every coin that enters your hand. Give thanks as though you are already receiving the vast sums you declared, because, in truth, those sums are already on their way. Third, put this decree on paper. As Jung's teachings confirm, symbols and written words are the language of the subconscious. Write this powerful sentence on a small piece of paper and place it somewhere you will see it every single day. Place it in your wallet. Fix it to the mirror you face each morning. Allow the physical environment around you to whisper abundance back to you. Drop 444. I trust the universe is working for me right now. Place this in the comments, because 444 is the number of divine protection and trust. The signal that you are held, that you are not walking this path alone. Fourth, trust the unexpected. Money will not always arrive through the path you planned. Perhaps what will carry this wealth to you is an opportunity materializing out of nowhere, a repayment from the past, a surprising sale, an unanticipated gift. Do not place limits on the universe by insisting abundance must arrive through a particular door. Allow the astonishing to reveal itself. Never attempt to force the process or control it with your narrow logic. You planted your seed. From this point forward, water it with gratitude, and wait in unshakable faith. The hidden fear of having too much. Perhaps you have never noticed it, but in the deepest corner of your soul, there lives a concealed terror. The fear of having too much. The fear of becoming too wealthy. As strange as it sounds, many people cannot become wealthy not because they lack talent, but because they are terrified of what will happen if that great abundance actually arrives at their door. Be completely honest with yourself. If you woke up tomorrow and found a vast, staggering sum of money in your possession, what would you feel? Joy? Freedom? Elation? Perhaps yes. But somewhere in one of the shadowed corners of your mind, another voice would stir. Can I manage this much? What if I lose it all? What will people say? What if this money changes me into someone I don't recognize? That deep cultural anxiety, the fear of being seen, of standing out, begins to surface. This concealed terror is one of the most silent, most insidious forces blocking the road to wealth. Because even if your tongue declares abundance, your subconscious, terrified that enormous wealth will crush you, instantly rejects it. As Jung's deep mapping of human psychology demonstrates, the mind immediately repels and flees from whatever the subconscious fears. But here is the truth that Jung's vision of wholeness reveals. Wealth, arriving through universal grace, does not destroy a person. It does not poison. It arrives in harmony. It brings balance. Most people associate money with pain because they have watched others drown in wealth, watched others lose their humanity inside it. But what corrupts a person is not money itself. It is the disorder already living in their own consciousness. Money is simply a colossal lens that magnifies whatever already exists within you. If you are generous at your core, more resources will make you exponentially more generous. If your heart is clean, abundance will multiply your inner light 1,000-fold. Never be afraid of possessing too much, because the universe never places upon your shoulders more than what you can carry with grace. The shadow within whispers that the excess will crush you, but the real truth is this: everything arriving from that infinite source expands perfectly to fit your growing capacity. Imagine a massive wave of abundance rolling directly toward you. Instead of submerging you, this wave, like a master surfer who has learned to move with the rhythm of the ocean, lifts you and carries you all the way to the summit. That is precisely what happens when you open yourself to wealth, arriving through universal grace. What appears enormous and frightening actually grips you firmly and holds you upright. This is why, from today onward, say this to yourself: I am not afraid of receiving too much, and I am releasing this fear right now. Everything that arrives to me comes through the grace of the universe in perfect, harmonious, and astonishing ways. Abundance is flooding into my life right now in the comments below. Because 888 is the number of infinite flow, the signal of unlimited abundance pouring in without end. Claim it. The avalanche of abundance is coming. Imagine a massive dam holding back years of accumulated water. Someone opens a small hatch in the wall. At first, only a thin trickle seeps through. But suddenly, the immense pressure of all that stored water is released, and what was barely a trickle becomes an unstoppable river, sweeping everything before it. That is how money enters your life when you activate that mighty decree. It arrives like an avalanche. You gently placed the seed in the earth. You prepared your heart for that abundance. You tore out the hidden fear from its roots. What comes next? The vast abundance summoned by your unshakable conviction begins manifesting through paths so swift and astonishing they exceed anything you could have calculated. Some people, when this begins to happen, are seized by panic. Why is everything suddenly arriving all at once? Can I manage all of this? But remember the truth you just learned. What arrives through the grace of the universe does not come to crush you. It comes to lift you. It comes to support you. That avalanche does not bury you beneath it. It carries you to the peak. Money might come through new opportunity doors opening one after another through a collaboration suddenly placed on your table, through a raise you had been waiting on, through unconditional gifts, through debts dissolving, through clients arriving from directions you never imagined. The universe has no limits, no walls. Every channel is fully open. Your only task is to keep your arms open, to stay flexible, and to meet that abundance with profound gratitude. An avalanche is not controlled. An avalanche is embraced. Do not try to measure it with your limited mind to fit it into a box of your own construction. Receive it with immense grace and distribute what flows to you with wisdom and the generosity it deserves. Here is the secret almost no one allows themselves to see. Money is a living energy in motion. If you hoard it in fear of losing it, that energy stagnates and decays. Water cleanses precisely because it moves. If you distribute that money with confidence and faith, if you let it flow into the lives around you, it returns to you multiplied 1,000 times. When the avalanche of wealth reaches your door, the most powerful armor you can wear is your gratitude and your extraordinary generosity. Give thanks for every single coin entering your life. Use a portion without hesitation to touch the lives of others, to be a source of abundance for someone else. The ancient wisdom is this: give so that it may multiply. Everything you give with joy and from the heart returns to you compounded, layered with increase. Now go to the comments and write this: 888. I receive great sums of money with great joy and deep gratitude. Do not write this as a formality. Write it as a command rising from the deepest chambers of your consciousness, as an irreversible act of awakening. This is the personal seal you place on the lock of the great river of abundance, now surging toward you. The shattering power of a single decree. You have traveled a profound distance in this journey. You entered through this door carrying a small ember of curiosity, the promise of a single sentence that could completely transform your financial world. And step by step, you witnessed what Jung's deepest understanding confirms: that words are the most powerful keys in your possession, that your voice creates entirely new worlds, that the unshakable conviction you carry inside you is the true seed of every miracle. You are no longer the version of yourself who pressed play on this video, because you now understand in every cell of your body that the point is not to parrot words like an empty formula. The real power lies in speaking that word with total conviction, with profound awareness, with yourself completely open and surrendered. You discovered the ancient mystery living inside a single word. You encountered the science of the spoken word. You experienced the frequency of wealth. You learned how to prepare your heart for that abundance. You received the shattering revelation of the decree itself. You saw how it will take form in your life. You freed yourself from the dark fear living in your mind. And finally, you learned how to flow inside that colossal avalanche of abundance, like water finding its natural course. And all of it, every last piece of it, began with a single sentence. I now receive large sums of money into my life through the grace of the universe in perfect, harmonious, and astonishing ways. This sentence is now planted in your mind. This word is now alive inside your soul. And it does not matter what your eyes can see right now or what the world outside is telling you. It does not matter what number is sitting in your bank account today. The decree has already departed. The seed of abundance has already fallen into the most fertile soil of the invisible realm, and there is no force on this earth powerful enough to stop it from germinating and bearing fruit. The only thing I am asking of you now is this: trust the process. Never return to the fear-drenched, scarcity-soaked words of your old life. Every morning when you open your eyes, remind yourself, I opened the gates of that dam. I tuned myself to the frequency that draws abundance. I received the key that unlocks the locked door, and I turned it. Before I leave you, listen to these final words with everything you have. The hands of this boundless universe never come up empty. They are always searching, every moment, without ceasing, for someone ready to receive that infinite abundance with grace, with wisdom, with an open and grateful heart. And right now, the universe knows with absolute certainty that person is you, and you are ready. So open your arms, open your heart, open your entire life to this abundance. Because the word you spoke today was not a simple sound dissolving into air. It was a sacred covenant you signed with infinite wealth, one that will hold for the rest of your life. And as the final and greatest act of belief on this journey, go to the comments and write, 11, I am the architect of my own destiny, and I claim my abundance now. Because 11 is the master number of manifestation, the number of those who transform, who do not merely survive. Place your name on this. Let the universe witness it. Never forget this. That immense power lives between your lips. The key to the greatest locks is your own voice. And today, you slid that key into the lock. You felt it turn. Now simply prepare yourself, because the abundance you declared is already on its way to you.